Hi guys, Jamie here. So today I just wanted to address a comment that I got in my comment section asking me about kind of like my weight loss journey through high carb, low fat. And he also wanted to know about bloating as well. But so just to touch on my weight loss, I have been doing this for about 8 years now. And when I was initially high carb, I wasn't as low fat as I am now. If I had to guess, maybe I was even up to 20% in the very beginning. I was having more nuts, seeds, and avocado, things like that. And so I've lost around 30-ish pounds over this whole time. And my weight loss wasn't like drastic in the sense that it happened really fast. It was actually quite a slow process for me. But I just want to point out a couple of reasons why. And that was the fact that I had adrenal fatigue. Okay. Now, was it a diagnosed adrenal fatigue? No, I didn't go to a doctor, but I knew I had it. I had all the symptoms and all the symptoms, and it was not fun. Okay. And a lot of my adrenal fatigue, my adrenal fatigue really happened. A big contributing factor, and I've mentioned this in another video, is that I stopped sleeping years and years and years ago. And that, not sleeping is really going to be a burden on your adrenals big time. So that was a huge contributing factor as to why I burned out my adrenals. And when you burn out your adrenals, I'm sure a lot of you will have noticed that you start to kind of pack on pounds after you burn out your adrenals. But yeah, so mine has been a slower process. And like I said in the beginning, I wasn't as disciplined about the fat like I am now. And maybe I've been disciplined for having lower fat for, I don't know, maybe a couple of years now. And when I really became disciplined about the fat, having sometimes going through periods of no overt fat, that's when a lot of the big changes happened. And when I look back at older pictures, I could tell I was retaining so much water. You know that in the pictures, it's horrible. You just look at yourself and you were retaining so much water. It wasn't even necessarily fat, but a lot of water weight. And a lot of people are walking around just not even with fat, but a ton of water weight, up to 15, 20 pounds of water weight. And one of the greatest things for getting off the water weight is just doing fruit and greens for a period of time, and you will see it just takes it right off. That's what I have noticed anyways. So yeah, I am currently about 138 pounds. I'm 5'5", and some people might think, oh, well, that's still big, but I have a thicker build. I'm naturally more muscular, you could say. I have very wide hips, thick thighs. That is my build. I'm not I'll never be lean like a supermodel with long skinny legs and narrow hips. So for me, could I be 130 pounds? Yeah, I could, and I think I would still look good. I'm not actively trying to lose weight, but I'm sure I could get down to about 130 and I would still look good. I have been about 120 pounds when I was in my early 20s. I remember my mom was sick with cancer. It was just a very hard time. I was not really eating, and I was really focused on high protein foods then. Everything was about protein. And I remember I was just cranking caffeine. I was about 120 pounds, I think. And I did not look good. It didn't look good on me. Like I said, because I have a thicker build. And I remember I was so dehydrated, just barely drinking water at that time. I don't know, when you're young, you make really bad decisions, and everything was about caffeine. And I was eating a lot of protein, and I also wasn't really eating enough then. Because I was so stressed. So I did get down to 120 pounds. That didn't look good to me. I don't think I would look very good at 120 pounds. And yeah, but could I get down to about 130 and, still feel great and feel like I look good? Yeah. So, But also too, I lift weights every day, and I know they say muscle weighs more than fat. So, I mean, I don't know, but I do lift weights every day, and I use just 10-pound weights, like nothing bigger, because I don't want to get like, you know, like muscular or anything. I'm just trying to, you know, have some shape and maintain like a certain level of leanness. But, and I also do, like 100 squats every day, not weighted, just 100 squats, deep squats, and 100 hip thrusts, which that I do weighted with like a 15-pound weight. So, you know, when you're lifting weights, they, you know, say the muscle weighs more than fat. So, you know, don't get too concerned with what you see on the scale. It's how your clothes fit, you know, your shape, how you look. Don't get too obsessed with what the scale says. But yeah, so, and then when it comes to bloating, like, listen, have I experienced bloating? Of course I've experienced bloating. And what I've noticed is when I go no overt fat, you really lean out and the bloating completely goes away, especially when you're doing lots of fruit. You get a flat stomach, like no bloating, digestion's amazing. But, you know, over this period, I have still had overt fats. And every time I go out for a restaurant meal, I will have fats and salt, and I will notice it immediately that I will be bloated. And, you know, when you go high carb, low fat, and then you reintroduce certain foods, in my experience, it has showed me, it's like it's trying to directly show me, no, this food is not good for you. Don't eat this. And I will see it in my face. I'll have water retention. I'll have bloating. And so, of course, I still have that from time to time when I do indulge in more overt fats and salt. But I also will get bloating from watermelon. Like today I've had one of those, you know, those huge watermelons. I've had half of one, and I've just been cranking that and juice all morning and early afternoon. And yeah, like you do that. If you were to eat that whole watermelon, you probably put on quite a few pounds in the day. Like there's so much water in there. So yeah, it does, that will bloat me, watermelon, but you know, it's okay, because in the morning you wake up and it's gone. So there is still some, like if you were to eat really high water content food and you know, in a huge amount like I am today, then I will notice some bloating. But yeah, so yeah, guys, so that's been my experience over the last, you know, 8-ish years. The weight has come off. It has been slower. It didn't happen as quickly as I'd like it per se, but I just knew that all that mattered is that we run on carbohydrates. This is going to feed my cells, my brain, my organs. I need to get, like, I knew I was on the right path too, just with how a lot of other symptoms improved. And I knew that the weight was going to come off, especially when you stop eating overt fats, okay? Just give yourself a week, just eating fruit and greens and no overt fats, and you will see like weight just strips off of you. So the fat content does come into play for sure. And like I said in the beginning, I wasn't as disciplined with it. So yeah. But yeah, guys, so that's my video for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll be back again for another video. Thanks, guys. Bye.